Asylum seekers have stolen over £6.6 billion from us. And I do say stolen because I don't agree to my tax money going towards this. Did you? And guess what? You will become angrier when you find out how this money has actually been used. Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. In today's video I'm going to discuss how asylum seekers, the majority of whom have come here illegally, are stealing billions of pounds from us, the British people. Now, do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and as a disclaimer, I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or a particular group, religion, etc. So, let's jump into it with this. This is the major headlines that's doing the round at the moment. £6.6 billion, not million, billion. That is the cost of asylum seeker support. It has been revealed. Now, at a time when councils are literally going bankrupt, some council tax, is going up 5, 6, 7. One council, the council tax is going up 10%, right? Because they're essentially bankrupt. How the hell are they and the government somehow able to find over £6 billion to spend on asylum seekers? Again, most of whom that have come here illegally, right? I am totally in agreement for mass deportations for those that have come here illegally. If you're here illegally, you shouldn't be here at all. Goodbye. We send you back from where you came from. And if you want to come back to the UK, by all means, go for it. But do it through the legal and correct channels. Now, with that being said, you guys are going to get angrier when you find out how all this money has been used on these asylum seekers, right? Bear in mind that for our elderly, the government can't afford £1 billion for their heating allowance every single year, but the government and the councils can afford over 6 times much for asylum seekers. Please, make that make sense. But anywho, £1 million out of all of this has been sent on SIM cards for asylum seekers with at least 60 gigabytes of data. Now, this article goes on to explain that the average data usage for a British person is 8 gigabytes. So, why are asylum seekers getting tons more? It makes zero sense. Then you've got sandwich deliveries, friendship services, and even a visit to Arsenal Football Stadium, which, by the way, Keir Starmer, two-tier Keir, supports Arsenal, have also been included in this programme. All those billions is going towards sandwich deliveries, friendship services, and even days out to go to Arsenal. When the average British person is even struggling at this point to decide whether to eat or heat their homes during winter, can't even think about the possibility to afford going to their favourite football team stadium, we're handing it out for free to asylum seekers, again, most of which have come here illegally. This is insane. Now, they try and justify it in terms of, well, we include this to help them integrate into British life. There's no integration going on. This is not helping with integration. It is still a them and us situation. They're not sufficiently using and learning the English language. They're not learning and integrating into our society and way of life. If anything, they're trying to change it. They're trying to change it. Just look at London and the state of London now. From 20 years ago to now, it's totally unrecognisable. Totally unrecognisable. Now, critics have slammed all this as bonkers. All these things that the government is paying for these asylum seekers, all bonkers. And said much of the money should have been spent on improving public services and communities instead. Absolutely. Because for the average British taxpayer that lives here, right, our council tax is going up. but the council services are decreasing. So we're paying more for a decreased service. Well, hang on a minute. Instead of spending over £6 billion to asylum seekers, let's actually take that across to our council services so that A, they provide us with all the services that they should be providing us, and B, we don't have to contend with up to 10% increase on the year for council tax. But no, asylum seekers are more important than the British people. Asylum seekers deserve the billions of pounds. We don't. We don't at all. That's how I'm taking it. Freaking trips to Arsenal Stadium. Where are they getting these ideas from? One contract detailed the self-sufficient Wethersfield asylum accommodation site, where arrivals were greeted with over £20,000 worth of sports coaches and equipment for activities such as volleyball, tennis and athletics 4 times a day, 3 days a week. How is that helping asylum seekers, many of whom are here illegally, integrate into British society? Please, I'd love to know. Hundreds of thousands of pounds has been dedicated to befriending schemes, where asylum seekers and refugees were allocated a mentor. They use an example of Bristol, Hull and the London Borough of Newham. A befriender will be provided to each adult with the aim of promoting confidence building. We need more nurses and doctors in the NHS. Yet the government is, as far as I'm concerned, wasting money on befrienders for asylum seekers and refugees, many of whom shouldn't be here by rights because they're here illegally. Yeah, come on over here illegally. We'll give you billions of pounds. Don't worry about it. We'll give you a friend. We'll give you a SIM card. We'll give you trips to Arsenal freaking Stadium. We'll give you tens of thousands of pounds worth of sport equipment and coaching so you guys can get fit. What the hell is this madness? Other group activities included trips to London Zoo and Kew Gardens. You also got contracts for sandwich delivery services worth almost £50,000. Oh, and they were able to have a selection of chicken, egg and mayo, veggie and vegan selections too. And those were supplied weekly for refugees in both the Croydon and the Kent area. Now, the extensive list of contracts that's being released covered a variety of other areas where expenditure apparently was of great significance. The largest cost to the taxpayer out of all of this was for accommodation, amounting to the billions, with the furnishing, just the furnishing of all these dwellings, coming in at $2,388,000. So not only are we spending billions, right, on houses and somewhere for these immigrants to live, many of whom, again, are illegal, but then we're spending millions on giving them freaking furniture for free? Yeah, we can't afford to look after our elderly. We can't afford to look after our homeless or the veterans. What? We can't afford to look after our own vulnerable. We can't afford to help the NHS and get it back on its feet because at the moment it's on its freaking knees. No, we can't afford any of that, but we could certainly find somehow over £6 billion for asylum seekers. Now, Rupert Lowe has commented on this, saying he believes local communities are being destroyed despite integration being at the forefront of the initiatives. And I totally agree with what he says here. He says, look, if someone landed from outer space, they'd say we've gone bonkers. We've got these ridiculous contracts where we're handing out money to groups who have never contributed to our society. Is that logic? I think it's lunacy. I do too. Now, again, you want to come over to the UK, go nuts, but do it in the legal and correct way. She's the freaking bed. It's easier, right, to come over to the UK illegally and get billions of pounds from us than it is if you're underage and you want to go into a nightclub. What the frick? What world are we living in now? What country are we living in? This is Britain. We have rules when it comes to who comes in and who doesn't. We have an immigration policy, immigration law. To my mind, why isn't it being implemented? Why are we allowing the illegal immigrants to literally walk all over us and, as far as I'm concerned, steal over £6 billion from us? And again, I say stolen because I didn't agree to my tax money going towards this. Did you? Now, with that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and believe me, of course, there's going to be more, you do not want to miss my next video, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here at Political Nerds. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever. What do you think? Do you think it's okay that we spent over £6 billion to asylum seekers or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.